Sup Passengers, this is RoflCopt'R here, and on this flight, we'll be diving into something interesting. Well, sorry for that. Sorry for doing that, and another thing, I'm sorry for not uploading the school, there's exams and everything, but pretty much, I did do a slight delay. I want to relax a little bit after my exams, you know, especially. And also, I've been working on some of my online characters, like Raphael, Fiona. You might not know them, I'll introduce them later. Now, we're back in TF2, and we got MVM music in the background. So, what we're going to be talking about is, things to improve your F2 when you're starting, or F2P. So, the first thing I want to know is the classes. Now, I've seen a lot of guys not know how to play classes properly, and also actually overestimate or underestimate the classes. Technically, the F2Ps, what they have seen lots of players, you see a lot of players play, they overestimate things. So, as a new player, or starting off, I would recommend you to first of all play Soldier. Now, the Soldier loadout, you would always start off with the rocket launcher. This is a little strange, I'll talk about that later. So, you got a rocket launcher, bang, a shotgun, and a shovel as your melee weapon. So it's really good for starters because your health is high, your movement speed is slightly balanced, and you've got pretty much good high output damage weapons. The rocket launcher does pretty much 20. That's say a fifth of not a fifth around, I don't know, somewhere around at the sixth of somebody's health. So shooting him several times, especially at close quarters, would shoot him down. Usually three shots to a guy would kill him instantly. Not kill him instantly, kill him. And shotgun, yeah, plenty of FPS games have shotguns, so yeah, it's pretty familiar, especially with those good aiming guys. And the shovel. Yeah, the shovel's just a melee weapon if you use it. I like to hold the escape lens so you can escape once you are like low health or something. So yeah, these two are good high output damage-ers. So that's the first class you want to play. Then afterwards you might move on to your medic. So after you actually fully understand how does TF2 go, what is your objectives and such, now the next thing you want to try and do is to go to medic. Now I didn't play medic a lot because I thought it was pretty much a boring class, but Mr. Paladin brought me out of that kind of dark zone and showed me the light of a medic. So a medic, you would start off with a regular syringe gun, a regular medigun, and a normal bone saw. Now this is the default medic loadout. So why do I recommend you secondly to play medic? Because it's not too much of a difficult class to play. Because if you're starting off, I recommend you just to think of several things. Healing your teammates, that's one. Healing teammates. And not only healing teammates, you also have to like learn to understand how to overheal teammates, because overhealing teammates is important, but that's a bit more advanced. Technically, yeah, you have to heal teammates, and you also have to be spyware, because if you didn't know, because if you're new, then you're technically the biggest target for most of the classes. And so you might want to, you know, keep an eye out for those spies, those demo men that might hit you, so you have to know when to flee or to fight. Because a medic is not for fighting, it's for healing, that's all it does. And that's a good thing, you just learn how to, you know, look around in the environment, because when you're not attacking anybody, you might start focusing on your environment a little bit. So what else? Next is the Pyro, which is next. Now, a lot of you might guys say, hey, Pyro is a difficult class for F2Ps to play. Well, technically, that's because they didn't know. Nobody has guided them. What they need to know is that not only the attack button is the right-click button, the M2 button. Now, the M2 button has a lot of functions as a Pyro, which is reflecting is a pretty much advanced technique. But what a new player would like to do is that if he was Pyro, if he's spyware, what I would love him to do is to spy check. Got three things on his mind. Killing enemies with his WM1 and shotgun and all those weapons. 2 is to extinguish teammates that are on fire by other Pyros by right-clicking. And also, spy checking. Just run around, especially on defense, run around, air blasting, flaming corners everywhere. Just you might look crazy, but that craziness helps. Besides, Pyro is always crazy since the start. So yeah, flame around for spy check, because you know, who knows if you might catch a spy. So yeah, those are the 3 things that a pyro has to take care of. It's not that difficult actually. You only need to do spy check, is to kill, and also to extinguish teammates. You get points by that. The air blasting projectiles is something that more experienced players do. So, but at least those 3 are the starting ones, and that's easy to do. But what are the mistaken class, and I think a new player should actually go away from, is an engineer and a spy, and also a sniper, in fact. So why engineer? Because engineer is such an advanced class. You could consider it like this. You have to know movement. You have to know how to move around with the enemy. You have to know how to dodge. You have to know how to use each and every weapon properly and in what situation. You have to know where to put your buildings, what kind of buildings to put, how are you supposed to put these buildings down, blah 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 blah. You just have to, there's got to think so much for an engineer class. Now, for sniper, why? Because it's not that because probably easy to get headshots. But so what I see is the problem is the sniper doesn't get to explore the world as much as any other class. And so I would love to try and what I meant is that it's best to have like an exploring class, like those soldiers and pyros which walk around the map a little bit more, actually absolutely more than the snipers. So it's they get to understand how does every single player work, because unless of course they just think about fighting, that's just ridiculous. That's just a dumbass who just thinks about fighting. It's about strategy in TF2. It's strategy and player responsibility. Next is the spy. Why spy? Just like the engineer, it's one of those difficult classes to play. It's really advanced. There's trick stabs, there's normal stabs, there's how to use your cloaking, when to use your cloaking, when to actually pull up your revolver, what disguise should you use, what disguise you should not use. There's just so much things that a spy has to care. And also, not to mention the medic stuff, which is checking around the environment. This is another thing. It's really difficult to grasp all of that in one go. So that's why I decided, well, there's the engineer, the sniper, and the spy. Just throw that away when you're new. Until you actually master, well, understand the concepts of TF2, know how to do damage output as a soldier or as a pyro, and heal guys with a medic, you could move on to these kind of classes. A little bit more advanced. The scout, that's 1. The demoman, that's 2. And the heavy, and then you can move on to the engineer, the sniper, and the spy. Now, another thing is about items. Now, usually people would what should I say, you would get these achievement items once you progress through achievements, and I thought they were good. In fact, they were good. Lots of pros actually sometimes actually underestimate these achievement items, but actually they're really good. They just don't realize it, because in I also underestimated it, but now I just realized that most of these achievement items are for the pro's hand, the experienced guy's hand. Because, like, for example, the Face Destroyer or the Force of Nature, it is good in the hands of a pro which knows how to aim with this weapon, because you have to aim with this weapon much more than if you just blast with that kind of weapon. If you just blast, you're not hitting anything. But if you blast, turn it around, blast, that's gonna maximize the damage that you'll do. And that is exactly what pros should know as well when you're using the Force of Nature. It's a good choice. And that also goes with the the soda popper, but technically most of these achievement items are good in the hands of a pro. The Scottish resistance used in Razorback is absolutely useless. And there's some more, even the direct hit. Why don't I recommend, or I mock people with the direct hit? Because the damage output is even is high. The area that it would do that damage output is small, and you have to aim. Newer players can't aim exactly correctly with the soldier at start, so that's why it's not a good choice to use. But with that splash damage as a new player, you would be satisfied by hearing the enemies getting chipped away. Now what else? Hats and miscellaneouses. Well, yeah, I say that just go ahead, wear them, and don't care if anybody calls you new, because you are new. You're just new. You're very, very new. So, what else did they get? but just try not to get in everybody's way and understand people a little bit more. If they're being a little bit casual, maybe like in certain casual maps, like I don't know, like I don't know where. But they just if they just feel like peace, then just understand peace. But yeah. Anyways, another thing. What kind of options that you usually like to use? Well, if you're starting off, automatic. I choose several ones. Now I'm just gonna tell you the ones that are good for new players. I'm not sure about fast weapon switch. That's your choice. I like fast weapon switch. Now here's one. Play a hit sound every time you injure an enemy. Now this, whenever you hit an enemy and it does damage, it will make a dinging sound. For me, it's a bubble sound because I modified that a little bit. So why is this dinging sound important? Well, it allows you to tell that you're doing damage or not to an enemy. Because sometimes you just can't, like for example, Pyro, when you walk away, when you're burning, you just could hear it satisfy by hearing that ding, 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 ding. And you get to, like, hear guys. Like, for example, a demo man usually uses his weapons to hit guys when he's out of his field of view. In fact, far away from his field of view, like somewhere like a mile away. And if you activate the stickies and you hear a ding, then that means you're doing damage, and that is good enough. That means an enemy is over there. So that's a good choice. Display damage done as text above the target. That is another good a good choice. Why? Because if it displays the damage like 60 or 40 or 25 in the minus, it would be able to detect how much damage you do, and it's really good. Unless, of course, especially for me, I know the class's health. Each and every class's health. You'll also grasp that later. And at least I know and because of that, I get to know when to strike or not. Remember, these are also optional. Now this is another optional. But technically the rest is also normal. Now here's another. I usually like to go to view model, zoom it out up to like 70. I don't know. I just feel like it's helpful because it doesn't take up your screen a lot. Now, but the rest is your choice of, doing. Now, mistakes. How could we go on to mistakes? One of them is obviously picking the wrong class. Another thing is, now when you're on the battlefield, you have to understand several things. Like one of them is to, if your team relies on you, just play a class at the right time. Don't play a wrong class at the wrong time. Usually people will tend to go to, I don't know, a heavy. Well, heavy is okay. I mean, spy or sniper. Just because sniper especially for those Call of Duty players, they really like sniper a lot. Well, that's not gonna be helpful for the team because you're just gonna be standing around. Spy. Usually newer players will usually go to spy because they think spy is the answer to everything for new players. Well, it is not the answer to everything. Unless you're unless you're experienced, you would be able to do it. You would be absolutely able to do it. But seriously though, what do you want to try and do? If you think that your class that you're holding, that you're using right now isn't useful, go for something useful, like a demo man, a soldier, or a heavy, which might do a little bit better. Just think a little bit about the environment. What actually made you killed? What do they need in order to win? Another thing is to always keep in mind of the objectives. I see a lot of players like walking off the capture point just to kill guys. Because TF2 is not about killing guys. Call of Duty players, please. It's not about killing guys. It's about to win. You have to take the capture point or push that goddamn cart somewhere. Why do Call of Duty players think killing? Because that's their game. They just kill. Killing is just one part of winning, but the cart is the absolute pinpoint of winning, and including capture points. So stay up to the objective. Help your team out a lot. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all to grasp on for new player stuff. But yeah, I guess that should be it for now. Again, sorry for not uploading. This should be my first upload So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe to this airline to see more and to catch the next one. Until then, I'm ready for takeoff. As always, tata bye, au revoir, and please tell me any kind of good things you might wanna. I mean, good things. Kind of. I don't know, stuff I could do to record, because I feel quite bored. I don't have any ideas to record right now. So yeah, bye. Help him out. You're much better. Go. Yeah, slap him. Slap him. You got the chance. You got the chance. You got the goddamn fucking chance. What is he doing? Oh!
Shit, son.
It's over.